"Come along, Margaret," he said gruffly. "I'm taking you somewhere else, away from this misguided girl." Margaret looked back apologetically at Sarah as her husband dragged her out of the park. The man led Margaret to the parking lot and opened the car door for her. "Get in," he commanded. Margaret obediently slid into the passenger seat. Her husband got in the driver's side, shaking his head in disapproval. "I can't believe you were fawning over that ridiculous shaved head," he scolded. "No proper woman should idolize such nonsense." He started the engine and pulled out of the lot, driving aimlessly to find another place away from the poor influence of the bald girl in the park. "Really, Margaret, I expect better from you," he continued. "No wife of mine will be seen admiring such foolish hairstyles. I'm taking us somewhere more respectable." Margaret just gazed out the window, watching the park disappear from view. She wished she could have expressed her admiration for the brave girl who shaved her head, but her husband refused to allow it. They drove in silence to a new location, further isolating Margaret from the inspiration she had found in Sarah's bold style. Her husband was determined to keep her proper and feminine, under his control. Sarah sat on the park bench, running her hand over her shaved head. She took a deep breath as she thought back to everything that had just happened. Though the botched pixie cut had been a nightmare at first, the dramatic buzz cut was starting to grow on her. She felt liberated and empowered with her stubbly, ultra-short style. As Sarah sat there, she remembered another place she had gone to recently, the botanical gardens. She had wandered the peaceful paths there just a week ago, admiring the flowers with her long blonde hair blowing in the breeze. It seemed like a lifetime ago now. Sarah imagined walking through those same gardens with her nearly bald head. She wondered if the older ladies with their polite page boy hairstyles would shake their heads at her bold, shorn style. But suddenly, their disapproval didn't matter so much to her anymore. This was her head, her hair. She could style it however she pleased. The gardens had been her solace before, but now Sarah knew she could find peace within herself. Sarah stood up from the park bench, feeling empowered with her new ultra-short buzz cut. She decided it was time to face her family and start getting used to her dramatic new look. She walked home, running her hand over the soft fuzz covering her scalp. No longer crying and distraught, Sarah held her head high, proud of her edgy, shaved style. When she arrived home, Sarah went straight to the bathroom to examine her new do in better lighting. Staring in the mirror, she tilted her head from side to side, fascinated by the drastic change. It would definitely take some getting used to. Sarah turned on the shower and stepped in, feeling the warm water cascade over her shorn head. It was an odd sensation, with no long locks to shampoo and condition. She gently massaged her stubbly scalp with soap. After toweling off, Sarah styled her short layers the best she could using some product. The pixie cut was gone, but she made the most of the buzz cut, spikes and all, finally ready to face her family. Sarah went downstairs, prepared to face her family's reaction to her dramatically shorn hair. Her mother's mouth dropped open when Sarah entered the kitchen. "Oh my goodness!" her mom exclaimed. "Sarah, what on earth did you do to your hair?" Sarah's dad peered over his newspaper, eyes widening at his daughter's drastic new look. "Yeah, kiddo. What's the deal with the buzz cut?" he asked in surprise. Sarah took a deep breath. "I know it's really short. I asked for a pixie cut, but the stylist messed it up. She had to shave my head to even it out." Her mom shook her head in disbelief. "I can't believe you let them shave off all your beautiful hair. Why didn't you just have them fix the pixie cut?" "Believe me, I was upset at first, too," Sarah said. But Amanda had to shave my head to make it even again after she cut off too much in the back on accident. Sarah's dad furrowed his brow. Seems a bit extreme just for a haircut. Are you sure this Amanda knew what she was doing? It was an accident, Dad, Sarah explained. And at first I freaked out when I saw my shaved head. But now I think it looks kind of edgy and cool. I'm going to rock this buzz cut. Her parents looked uncertain. Her mom said gently, "Well, it's your hair, sweetie. If you say you're happy with it, I guess that's what matters. But it will take some getting used to around here." Sarah smiled, relieved that her family was supportive even if her new look was shocking to them. Over the next few weeks, Sarah styled her buzz cut different ways: spiky, smoothed down, parted to the side. Her confidence grew as she got accustomed to the soft fuzz covering her scalp. She ignored the double takes and whispers at school about her exposed scalp. Sarah kept her head high, proud to express her individuality. After 2 months of growing out her buzz cut, Sarah decided it was time to go to a new barber. She was still upset with Amanda for botching her pixie cut and shaving her head. Sarah asked around and found an old-fashioned barber shop downtown that had been around for decades. She hoped the veteran barbers there would be more skilled and careful than Amanda had been. She walked into the barber shop, feeling nervous but determined. An elderly barber named Joe greeted her warmly. "What can I do for you today, miss?" he asked. "I want to shave the back and sides of my hair again, but leave more length on top," Sarah explained, showing him her grown-out buzz cut. "Can you trim it into a short undercut style for me?" Joe nodded confidently. "Of course, I can clean up those sides for you and give you a nice tapered undercut with length on top." Sarah relaxed into the leather barber chair, relieved to be in the hands of an experienced professional this time. She described exactly how she wanted her haircut. The barber draped a cape over her and got to work. He carefully buzzed the back and sides with clippers, then used scissors to trim and shape the top layers. After draping the cape over Sarah, the barber Joe could sense her nervousness. "Don't you worry, miss," he said reassuringly. "You're in good hands." Sarah nodded, taking a deep breath as Joe tilted her head forward and gathered her hair on top, clipping it up. She felt the cool air hit the back of her neck and a tingle of anxiety as the clippers buzzed to life. Joe started at her nape, carefully guiding the vibrating clippers up the back of her head. The buzzing grated loudly in Sarah's ears as her fuzzy regrowth was sheared away. She gripped the leather chair tightly, feeling very exposed. "Just relax. I'm being extra gentle," Joe said as he smoothly moved the clippers up around her ears. Sarah could feel the tiny hairs falling, tickling her skin. She closed her eyes, trying to stay calm.